What is up, math superstars? In this edition of Mr. Peterson Presents, I'm going to be bringing to you divisibility rules. So by the end of this video, you're going to be able to answer this question. The number 60,201 is divisible by what numbers? I know that number looks really big and scary, but we're going to give you some tips on how to accomplish this. So our first rule, we're going to take a look at numbers that are divisible by 2. And so here are the rules for this. Number 1, the number is an even number, which means that the number will end in the following numbers: 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8. So the following is an example of a number that is divisible by 2. So we're going to take a look at the number 168. And we know that's divisible by 2 since the last digit, so we're looking at the last digit, is 8. And 8 is an even number. So we can say the number 168 is divisible by 2. Here's the next rule. We're going to find numbers that are divisible by 3 now. And so in order to find that, this is going to be the sum of the digits. So we're going to add up the digits, and that number has to be divisible by 3. So now let's take a look at an example. So again, we're going to take a look at the number 168. We can say that number 168 is divisible by 3 because when we add up the digits, 1, 6, and 8, they equal 15. And 15 is divisible by 3. And so we can now say that this number 168 is divisible by 3. Next, we're going to take a look at numbers that are divisible by 4. And so the rule is the last two digits formed are divisible by 4. So let's take a look at an example. Our example is the number 316. So we're going to take a look at the last two digits are, we have a 1 in the tens and a 6 in the ones, so that makes 16. And we know 16 is divisible by 4. So because of this rule, we can say that the number 316 is divisible by 4. We're moving right along here. We're taking a look at numbers that are divisible by 5. And so if the number, any number we choose, ends in a 5 or 0, you guessed it, that number is divisible by 5. So our example here is the number 195. And we know that number is divisible by 5. Looking at the last digit there is a 5. And anything that's a 5 or a 0 is divisible by 5. So in our example here, we can say this number 195 is divisible by 5. So now we're going to take a look at numbers that are divisible by 6. And so the rule is the number has to be divisible by both. See that word both. Repeat that word both. Say it nice and loud. Both 2 and 3. And so we're going to take a look at our number 168. You might remember that number from the rules that are divisible by both 2 and 3. And so we can say 168 is divisible by 6 since it is both divisible by 2 and it is divisible by 3. Now we're going to take a look at numbers that are divisible by 9. So all the simple rule is this, is that when we add up the digits, they are divisible by 9. So let's take a look at an example. Our example here is the number 549. So in order to find this out, all we're going to do is add up the digits. So we're going to add up 5 plus 4 plus 9. That equals 18. And we know that 18 is divisible by 9. So because of this rule, we can say that the number 549 is divisible by 9. And last for this video, for Mr. Peterson Presents, we're going to take a look at numbers that are divisible by 10. And so for this rule, it's really simple. It's any number that ends in, you guessed it, 0. So let's take a look at this example. Our example is the number 1,470. We know that this is divisible by 10 because we're just taking a look at the last number. The last number right there is a 0. So any number that ends in 0 is divisible by 10. So we can say now this number, 1,470, is divisible by 10. Go ahead.
What's up, Math Superstars? This is Jay. Thanks for watching. Bye!